The Slumber Party Massacre. A cult classic in my opinion, and I would assume it actually is, though I wouldn't know where to look to know if it is or not. But just the title alone lets you know it's kind of, you know what's going on with that movie. And I really did enjoy it, and I'll be reviewing the two sequels, I believe, after this one. So look out for those. By the time this is up, I'm not sure. Links in the sidebar for those, maybe. If I figure it out, I don't know how to do that though. Whatever. This is a slasher film, but don't be fooled. It's not just a slasher, and it's not so stupid. There's a lot of feminism in it, and there's comedy in it. That is really good, actually. I really enjoyed it. I'm not too excited about the sequels. I'm excited about the Slumber Party Massacre 2 because I know that one of the characters from this is carried on into the sequel. It's not just something dumb where they took the same idea. Very quickly into the movie, we kind of just drift right in. We follow a paper boy to a house, and then we go inside. And as the chick sleeping wakes up, the chick is Trish, and this is probably the quickest the film's ever gone to a titty shot ever. Like, very quick. I don't think I counted, but it was like a minute and so. And another thing I like about it, it's in the 80s, like the early 80s, so this is before a bunch of implants. So if you're a fan of real boobies, good for you.
Would you look at all the nice fake titties in this place? I thought you like naturals. I believe in a woman's right to choose, man.
And as good as this movie is, there's like TNA everywhere. You will see when we go through the countdown that just like pops up. Basically in most, up until it gets real close to the end, it's just TNA. But anyway, Trish wakes up, gets dressed, shows off her boobies in the TNA thing, and then there's a radio thing talking about Russ Thorne as the escaped maniac, and he is loose, and she misses the announcement because she just leaves. Her parents are leaving town for a while. Her neighbor's gonna look after her. Her neighbor, Mr. Contact or something. He had a weird ass name. Mr. Content. Yeah. Fucking weird name. But anyway, he says he'll look after her. Trish's parents drive away. She chucks some of her toys in the garbage, and then Mom reaches out and grabs like a Barbie doll. And we know that's Russ Thorne. We find out later it is because later the Barbie doll ends up being stabbed in her house door or whatever. Then we go to the high school, and there's Jeff and Neil. Jeff hits on this telephone repair woman type chick, and then Jeff and Neil walk away, and the phone chick's like checking him out for like 3 seconds, pulled into her van, and is drilled in the head, I believe, by Russ Thorne. And that was actually pretty gruesome because the way she was just like screaming and banging on the windows, like just begging for someone to help her, and they were so close too. It was like 5 seconds. I found it gruesome. I liked it. That's one of the few kills that I found like lots of sympathy for, just because the way she went. I don't know. It also reminds me of Jamie Kennedy in Scream 2, the way he got pulled in the van and killed, so maybe that had something to do with it. But it was exactly 6 minutes in, and we got that murder. The first murder was 6 minutes in, and we had a titty shot, so this film's off to a good start. Then there we go to some chicks playing basketball in gym class, and Valerie is the new girl, and she's good at basketball, so that makes some of the girls in her class irritated by her or whatever, and Jeff and Neil are just kind of eye humping her. 7 minutes 40 seconds. They're in the shower room, and boobs everywhere. It was just tits and ass, and it was like titty shot, and it was just showers. It was like titty shot, and one of the most deliberate ass shots ever. It's like it's moving, and like one chick turns around to show her boobs because she's showering, and then we go to one chick and we just see her back. So then the camera moves down just so you can see her ass. It's like, what? The director knew what kind of film he was making, so he wasn't going to be dumb about it. He knew you want to see it, so frickin' move down. Then we meet, well, we start figuring out the names. Diane is one of the chicks, and she's mean. She doesn't like Valerie, the new girl. Leaving, and we see the killer, Russ Thorne. and then he's in the repair chick's van, and we see her body laying like in the by the trash cans or something. And then Linda turns around. She forgot one of her books in her locker. She's running in, and her teacher, Mrs. Dana, says hurry up or whatever. School's gonna be locked soon, all the doors. So she kind of does. She tries to hurry. She does get locked in school. The killer attacks her with his drill. It's like a big friggin' drill. He cuts her arm. She runs and hides. He's looking for her. She's in like this supply locker room or whatever, and blood's dripping, and she grabs a towel quickly because she has to wipe it up, but it goes under a door. So then he finds it. He drills open the door, and then it's an ambiguous kill. We don't know what happened. We know she got killed though. Because then he's running out of the school. He's booking it to the van. He gets out of there. And then we have Diane is walking home, and her boyfriend John something or other, I believe, is sneaking up on her trying to scare her something, and like he grabs her or something because she drops her books, and she like flips him over her, and he almost breaks his back, he says. But it was kind of funny. We get to a house, and then the radio's playing about how Russ Thorne escaped, and the chick changes the channel or whatever on the radio. She doesn't care. Idiots. She drops a glass of juice or whatever, and she hears a noise, so she grabs her glass shard and goes to investigate. And then she looks in a closet. Cat scare. Cat jumps out. Oh my god. I know, like we haven't seen that all the time. But this was in the 80s, early 80s, so it's one of the first couple times, so not a cliche that it has become. And then Jeff and the other dude, what's his name? Neil, they walk to the party. Or they're on their way anyway. They want to check out the chicks. And then some other girls show up with Maui Wowie weed and booze. And Mr. Contant or whatever frickin' says, "Ah, go ahead, I'm just gonna go back to my house. I don't care. You girls have fun." So yeah, yay for them. Then Valerie is, here's her trap. Well, Valerie's across the street from the Slumber party with her sister Courtney, and Courtney's looking at a Sly Stallone Playgirl magazine, and Valerie is investigating some garbage cans that got knocked over. And at the same time, Jeff and Neil are checking out the chicks at the Slumber party through a window. Dan goes outside for a second to grab something, I don't even fucking remember, wood for a fire or something. Mr. Content talks to her. He's attacking snails with a cleaver, and after Diane leaves, he gets drilled through the neck by Thorne. So bye-bye. Hardly knew you, hardly cared. Diane is then talking to John over the phone, and the other chicks are listening in and making fun of her. Then the power goes out, girls go and investigate, find Jeff and Neil. They cut the power and they put it back on now. And then they get invited in because freaking, was it Jeff, I believe? He got punched in the eye or something. Then Valerie across the street hears the trash cans get knocked over again. She goes to check it out, gets scared by Courtney. John finally arrives, goes in the garage with Diane, and then they start making out. She goes inside though to grab something or other before she leaves with him because they're going to go to his house. The girls inside are making margaritas and whatever, makes some comments to Diane. She goes back outside. John's head falls off or something. Yeah, his head fell off. And then she gets killed by Thorne. The chicks don't hear. Valerie and Courtney think they heard something, so they want to check it out. They phone over though, and the phone lines are cut. Then the other girls answer the door because the pizza guy shows up, and both his eyes are drilled out, and he drops dead in there. And then they go to call the cops, and then the lines get cut. So when Valerie and Courtney check what's going on, that's why the phones are dead. So they call Coach Jana, and she says she's going to drive over there and check out what's going on. Jeff then runs to, him and Neil decide they're going to run across the street to Valerie's house. They went about it wrong though. They split up, and Jeff's like, "I'm going to go through the back here and you go through the front for no reason." So they do, and then Jeff runs with his knife, goes to the backyard, has to go through the garage, finds Dan's dead body. Then he gets drilled from behind and then through his chest. So yeah, bye Jeff. Frickin' idiot. You never split up, don't you learn anything ever? Fucking moron. And And Neil gets to Valerie's house, and Valerie's watching TV, and Courtney is talking to someone on the phone, so neither of them hear him banging on the door. Valerie eventually goes to check it out, but he's already been like pulled away, and he's getting attacked by Thorne, and he gets stabbed with his own knife. So Valerie never sees, answers the door too late, typically. And Thorne drags Neil to the garage where he's putting all the bodies in like the car trunk or whatever, something. And then he finds out Jeff is missing because Jeff is crawling back to Trisha's house. He's trying to get in, and then they go. And frickin' at the same time, what's her name? Jackie is one of them. One of the girls, she's eating the dead guy's pizza because she's nervous. Then they cover him up with a blanket. Then they hear like something at the door, and they're about to go see what's happening. Jeff gets killed by Thorne. They hear it. They see the blood running. They start freaking out and running through the house, finding a place to hide. Valerie and Courtney eventually head over to Trisha's house to check what's going on. And then the doorbell rings, so Jackie goes to answer it because they hear Valerie's voice, but turns out it's Thorne. They answered the wrong door. Thorne kills Jackie by slitting her throat with the drill. And the chicks freak out and start running and hiding again. Valerie and Courtney don't hear and don't know what's going on, so they just keep looking. Kim and Trish go upstairs and like have their knives. Thorne sneaks in through the upstairs window, attacks Kim. Kim tries to get him with a knife. She gets stabbed, but Trish gets away and goes and hides. Thorne looks for her, doesn't find her, goes downstairs. Courtney and Valerie enter Trisha's house and are kind of looking through and whatever.
Yeah, the party was going someplace else. Well, I think we ought to get something out of this. Let's read the fridge. Come on, I'm gonna get out of here. I don't know what it is, but something about this house gives me the creeps. Spoil sport. I never have any fun. Just one little beer. Courtney, you're underage. Negative. Let's go. Courtney, come on. Courtney. What's wrong?
That's the funniest thing ever. So yeah, then they scream. Thorne hears them, goes, looks, doesn't find him, but he finds the pizza guy, takes the blanket off him, throws him down the stairs where Valerie's hiding, Courtney's hiding under the couch, Trisha's hiding upstairs. So then Thorne puts the blanket over himself, pretending he's a dead pizza guy. And then Coach Dana shows up, finds him. He frickin' goes to attack her. And then Courtney does something. She trips him so Dana can hit him. Trish runs downstairs, stabs the dude, but then he gets up and like cuts Dana halfway through the guts. She dies. And then Trish shows up with was it a machete? But the movie was good. I enjoyed it. If you're okay, if you want to watch a TNA horror film that's kind of funny, go watch it. Horror Junkie. I'll put the words right here. She posted up the movie on YouTube in like 9 parts, or whatever. Go watch it now. Seriously, the first 5 parts or so are just boobs and funny murder, so it's good. And the last 2 parts are pretty scary and funny. Just whatever, go watch. The film is good. It has my unequivocal seal of approval, and go watch it now.